skills on the platform. Back at you with another one. What's up, YouTube? Today's topic is gonna be a cooker. Today, people might feel some kind of way today after this topic. I gotta say, today's topic are women's mind frame today not her nature? So the mind frame that women have today, it is not her nature. I'm tired and I'm sick and tired of hearing people say that women's nature is to be a whore. That is not true. And a lot of people are speaking this in the so-called manosphere, that this is the nature of a woman to be promiscuous, or for a woman to seek out a validation from men. No, we need to stop it, and we need to stop it now. And I'm here to say it, and say it first, if no one has not said it. That is not her nature. That is not who she is. This is what society has put into the mind of women today, that it's okay to be promiscuous. It's okay for her to seek out multiple sexual partners. What is this doing to society? It's literally dismantling society as we know it. It is destroying the fabric of society as we know it. It is destroying the culture. It is destroying the people. It is causing separation and division among people, men and women in particular. What it does, it causes the few people who actually run and actually benefit from the institutions of today to make more money. Because if people, men and women, were to come together as it was supposed to be originally in scriptures and beyond, before these times that we're in now, that a man and woman is supposed to come together and form a union, and they are supposed to have children and grow as a unit. So if a unit comes together and grows, naturally they are not going to spend as much money as individual single people. It is a fact. A family would spend less as a unit together versus single people. Right? Now, let's go ahead and get into this. Because this gotta stop. This has to stop, and this is gonna stop now, period. Now, I know a lot of people make money off of this, but you gon' period, it's over. Now, let's go into this. Let's talk about what the true nature of a woman really is, and then we'll go into more details as to how this culture has come about that we see today. And media is mainly responsible for it. So, scriptures, Proverbs 31, 10 to 31. A wife of noble character. Who can find this type of woman? Well, according to today, they're far and few in between. Right? Because society's teaching women that it's okay to have multiple sexual partners and just run around and just sleep around with different people, and it's okay. But it is proven, according to feminists, that this has made women dissatisfied. They are less happy than they were in the past. If you were to do statistics and stats according to now, say the past 20 years versus the past 40 or 60 years, right? It is proven that back in the days that women were happier when they were actually working in their true nature. And this is the true nature of a woman according to Proverbs 31. It's not what we think it is today. A lot of women are brainwashed by the media. They're brainwashed by today's society because they know that if they can get the mind of the woman, they can easily mess up everything. Think about the Bible, right? And Eve in the Bible, they say that she's the one that partake of the fruit first, and she was deceived by the serpent, right? So because she was deceived by the serpent, okay? Because the woman was deceived by the serpent, that simply just means that she can be tricked easier than the man. Why wasn't the man tricked first? Why didn't the story speak about the man being deceived by the serpent and then leading the woman astray? Because the serpent knew that she was easier to deceive because she is naturally more emotional, but it doesn't make her weaker. Because the woman is more emotional, it does not mean she's weaker. It just means she's more emotional. Period. That means she's just more in tune with her feelings. A woman and a man, the only difference between a woman and a man is that they have two different sexual organs. A man is emotional too. We clearly see that today in society. A bunch of emotional men running around here doing silly things just like a lot of these silly women. So there's silly men, there's silly women. There is no separation of that. Then there's men that have sense, and then you have women that have sense. So we got to stop this foolishness talking about women are emotional, men are logical. No, it's facts that women can be logical and men can be emotional too. The roles can be easily reversed. The roles can easily be reversed. A man can be very emotional and a woman can be logical. So that means the ability for a woman to be illogical and emotionally balanced is possible. It's called emotional intelligence. Women have it, men have it. Men have that ability, women have that ability. It's the manipulation that society today has caused in the minds of the people to make them believe what they believe today. That is true, and it's not. And all it does is cause division and separation, which if men and women are divided, typically the so-called black women and black men are the ones that are really divided, right? It's gonna cause increase of finance to the institutes of today. And who typically runs these institutes? We already know the answer to that. We don't have to talk about that, right? Let's move on. So, she is worth far more than rubies, right? The virtuous woman, the true nature of a woman, she's far more than rubies. That means she's not gonna sell herself for a couple of measly $100, $1,000, $5,000 or $10,000. I've been watching these videos recently of these women taking flights overseas, going to different countries to go meet up with so-called billionaires, and then they getting killed. They're losing their lives. They're losing their lives to go chase after a so-called dollar, so-called money, right? But according to the scriptures, she is worth far more than rubies. She's worth far more than precious stones. The true nature of a woman is far more worth than precious stones, because the scriptures even teach that if another man was to get caught with if a man was to catch another man with his woman, there was no price that man could pay to make up for it. That man want his head. The only thing that's going to satisfy that man for messing around with his woman is he wants that man's head. Even if she was guilty of it, he wants that man's head. Right? But clearly we're not simping over here, so we're not going to go ahead and excuse a woman who's been messing around with another man. No, I'm just speaking in general that that's the price that her husband wants. He wants that other man's head. Especially if he forced himself on her. Oh, it's a wrap. You can't give that man nothing. There is no prize. There is no value. There is not amount of money or precious jewels, stones, gold, whatever of value on this planet that he would accept. He wants your head. Let's move on. So we know her value is worth far more than rubies. We know how much rubies are worth. Rubies are precious stones worth thousands, hundreds of thousands, if not millions. And she's worth more than that. A lot of y'all women are selling yourselves short. Y'all don't know your value, and the reason why you don't know your value is because the media has lied to you and tricked you and deceived you to think that it's okay to behave the way you've been behaving, but I'm here to tell you it's not okay. Let's move on. Verse scripture, that was verse 10. Proverbs 31 and 10. Now moving on to 11. Her husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing of value. You know what? This video is probably going to be longer than expected, but it's needed. It's necessary. Here we go. So that means her husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing of value. So that means if you have a woman in her true nature and who she really is and who she was meant to be, which her values are far above rubies, her husband lacks nothing of value. That means he has it all. So what does that mean? A lot of y'all women around here trying to chase a bag. You trying to, I got to get my money up and all this foolishness. You sound stupid. You sound retarded, right? And I'm going to prove it. The reason why you sound retarded and you sound stupid for the ones who are doing this is because if her husband lacks nothing, what does she lack? I'll let y'all answer that for a minute. Leave it in the comments. What would her husband lack? If her husband doesn't lack anything, if her husband doesn't lack anything and she is the husband of that man, what does that mean she has? That means she lacks nothing also. She has it all. Y'all just coming up with excuses to be whores. Simple. And society tricked you to make you think it's okay. Let's move on. Her husband lacks nothing of value. 12. She brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. So if you're bringing harm to the man you're sleeping with, you are completely brainwashed. You're not supposed to be bringing harm to the person you're supposed to be considered your husband. And today, if you sleep with a man, he's your husband. If you sleep with multiple men, you're just confused. Period. A woman sleeps with multiple men is confused. She's been tricked and deceived, and she's literally fallen into what's called the status quo of today's society. And they make her think it's okay when it's not. Because let's keep it real, right? People try to, a virgin, you're trying to tell me that a virgin, a woman that has, or female that has not slept with a man at any point in her life, right? You're trying to tell me that a woman who has slept with multiple men is worth more than a virgin? What? Who taught you people? Where are you guys getting your information from? Who taught you that a woman that has not had no sexual partners is worth more, is not worth more, that a woman who has multiple sexual partners is worth more than a woman who has none, who never had sexual partners? clearly she's worth more than a woman that has had multiple sexual partners. It's a fact. Simple. And the less sexual partners a woman has had, the more valuable she is. If she's had multiple sexual partners, the more she has had, the less valuable she is. Simple. Period. There's no argument with that. Now, if you have an argument, leave a comment on this to what I just said. If you believe that a woman who has had multiple sexual partners is worth more than a woman that has never had sexual partners, let's be real. Let's move on. She, like I said, number 12, she brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. A woman that's bringing her husband or man or significant other harm is a woman that's been corrupted. She's been around too many people. She's been talking to too many people, especially people that have not been giving her good instruction or good direction, whether it's her parents or friends or older family members. She's been led astray. We know, according to the scriptures, that when the serpent deceived Eve to go ahead and eating of the forbidden fruit, the serpent knew that she was more emotional than the man. That's all. So the serpent knew that he could deceive her into partaking into that fruit because of her, because how she is. Her nature is not easily deceived, but she was deceived. She can be manipulated easier than a man, but once she is taught, right? Once she learns that it's not easy to deceive her. But she's not taught the right things and the right way to go according to today's society. Let's move on. So she does not bring him harm all the days of her life. She does not bring him harm. She won't do it. It's not in her nature to do it. If she does, she's been deceived and tricked to do it. And we're going to get a little further into that as well. That Willie Lynch letter. That Willie chick. Let's keep it moving. 13. Proverbs 31 and 13. She selects wool and flax and works with her with eager hands. That means she's willing to work. Y'all talking about this equality, women equality nonsense. Even back in the days, women worked. So this mindset, this conception people have in their mind that, oh, women never had no rights to work. It talks about it here in the scriptures and Proverbs. She works eagerly with her hands. A woman has always worked. She was never deprived of it. There might have been a point in history, a period where she might have been, they put it into their mind, in the minds of women, that they didn't have the equal rights to work. That was a lie. Because the men went to hunt. Back in the days, if we know history, the men used to be the hunters, and the women, he'd bring back the food to the woman, and she would cook it. And while he was out hunting all day, typically, she was making sure the household was okay, according to the other women in the neighborhood or in the camp. The other women used to work together. They used to till the land, bring back fresh water from the well, etc. Right? So that's how it was. The men hunt, the women took care of the children in the household. But the children learned how to work too. I don't know where y'all getting this stuff from of today. Y'all be saying, coming up with these weak concepts because society brainwashed you dummies into thinking certain things. And I'm going to call you a dummy because you fall into the stupidness of today. And that's probably not even a word, but still. You've fallen into this foolishness of society that has brainwashed you. Let's keep it moving. She works eager with her hands. 14. She's like the merchant ships, bringing her food from afar. She travels with a purpose, not traveling overseas to go try to get money from so-called millionaires and billionaires for whoring. She is not a whore by nature, so stop telling these lies to women. She is not a whore. Being a whore is something that's taught. It is something that's put into the mind, her mind, to think that's okay to do that. It is not okay. It is a lie. It's deception. You have been deceived, woman. You have been deceived by today's society. You've been tricked. And you've been tricked to be unproductive. That's why a lot of you don't have men at age 50. Y'all should be well in your 50s. You should have already had your man. And I'm going to tell you this, right? There's no man, y'all could conceive, y'all putting this thought in your mind that your man is going to leave you once you get to an old age, and he's after he generates a large amount of wealth, he's going to leave you. That's a lie. That is a complete lie. Because a real man, a man in general, will not leave a woman who has taken care of him all of his life. He will make sure, regardless of what happens to him, that she's going to be okay after the fact, whether they're together or not. And he's not going to leave that kind of woman in the first place. There's no man in his right mind that would leave a woman from Proverbs 31, a woman that's in there that has these characteristics. He would never, unless he's a complete asinine idiot, a dumbass. Excuse me. A man who has a woman that is described in Proverbs 31, 10 to 31 would never leave her for nothing. He wouldn't be messing around on her, because he knows everything he needs and wants and desires is in her. Period. But society has taught women to be lazy. People think that a degree makes them something. A piece of paper. Come on, man. Y'all been tricked. A lot of men been tricked too. And not only women have been tricked, a lot of y'all men be tricked too. Y'all think y'all something when you're not. Let's go. 13. She selects wool and flax and works with her eager hands. 14. She's like the merchant ships, bringing her food from afar. She travels. She takes care of business. She is a business woman. She doesn't work for a company and talk about she's independent. You're not independent if you work for a company. Period. If you work for a corporation, you're not independent. Let's keep it real. So stop the foolishness. 15. She gets up while it's still dark. She provides food for her family and a portion for her servant girls. Listen, a woman of Proverbs 31 has servants. A virtuous woman, a woman in her true nature, has girl servants. So that means she's not doing everything really by herself. She has help. But the characteristic of this woman is she gets up early, even before her girl servants. And she feeds her girl servants because she knows that her girl servants must eat to have energy so they can work and accomplish certain things that she needs done. She's not treating them like some kind of animal or something and expects them to be at a certain time and they don't have any type of nourishment for their bodies to be able to accomplish and do the certain work that she requires of them to do. She requires them to do certain type of work, so she makes sure that she feeds them. So she's kind to them. Just because she gets up early and she feeds her household and her children right? Doesn't mean she's some kind of slave. No. She's competent enough to understand she needs to feed her husband and her children and her servant girls. So that way her children can go handle what they need to handle, whatever task that she has for them. Her husband can go out to the city or wherever he needs to do to make sure that he covers the whole household. Her servant girls have nourishment and energy to do what they need to do for her and the family. Y'all got it twisted, man. Y'all people got it twisted. A lot of y'all men and women, y'all just completely twisted. Let's move on. So yeah, 15, she gets up while it's still dark and provides food for her family and a portion for her servant girls. She gets up early and she cooks. She probably doesn't have to do it every day, but she does it. Probably the servant girls usually probably get up and do it, but she leads them. So she leads by example. Let's move on. 16, she considers a field and buys it. Out of her earnings, she plants a vineyard. That means she buys land for the purpose of growth, of cultivation, and she buys land to grow food. She's not worried about going to a supermarket, because a supermarket has food. Where does the food come from? The supermarket? From the factory. Then where does the factory get the food from? From land, farmers. So y'all people sitting around here thinking everything is sweet. What if the supermarkets run out of food? You're going to be looking stupid. Right? Yeah. So a virtuous woman, her woman in her true nature, she buys land. So that means she works and she does business. She travels overseas. Going to talk about traveling overseas. She does business and she gets that, her earnings, and buys land with it. And she has servant girls who probably works on that land. Let's break this down for what it really is. She has servant girls. And I'm sure there's boys too as well who works and does certain things that boys would do. Because she's the head of the household. So she manages the children until the boy reaches certain age, clearly until the boy reaches certain age. Then he goes off with the father, and the father teaches him how to be a man, while the women stay with her, and she teaches the women how to be a woman. But y'all not teaching your children that. Y'all trying to flip the roles. You trying to teach these boys how to act like females, and these females try to act like men. And that's what society's been doing according to the Willie Lynch letters. Y'all Willie chipped up. Let's keep it moving. 16, she considers a field and buys it out of her earnings, and she plants a vineyard. So she plants a vineyard. What happens when you get a vineyard? You have wine, you get juice, right? From the grapes. And then you also have fresh fruits. It makes fruits, juice, and wine. That's business. You selling fruits, you sell juices, and you make wine and you sell that too. Business, income, money. Huh? You guys are silly. Keep it moving. A lot of people are silly today. Society has made you people silly, foolish. 17. She sets about her work vigorously. Her arms are strong for her task. She's not no lazy woman. She works. People that work sleep better. That's why a lot of y'all can't sleep. You're restless. Because all day you haven't done nothing. Then you wonder why you can't sleep at night. Because you did nothing. You run around here, chase women, sleep with a whole bunch of women, wasting people's time. You women, you sleep around, run around, sleep with a bunch of men, wasting people's time. You haven't accomplished nothing. Y'all can talk about how many men and women you slept with, and you haven't done nothing. Let's keep it moving. 18. She sees that her trading is profitable, and her lamp does not go out at night. I can break down many, breakdowns on this particular verse here. Her lamp doesn't go out at night. That means she's always has something in motion. She's lit all the time. Business is popping even while she sleep. She's not worried about nothing of value. Her husband's not worried about nothing of value. They got it already. And they stay getting it. Keep it moving. 19. In her hands, she holds the distaff and grasps the spittle with her fingers. Now that talks about knitting and creating fabrics, right? And she doesn't necessarily have to do that herself. She runs a business that does it. The servant girls, think about them, right? She trades. She sees her trading is profitable, and her lamp does not go out at night. So she's trading. She trades goods and services. They talk about the wine, the juice, the grapes. She trades. She has land. She does business. She travels. She creates fabrics. She probably not doing it herself, but she leads by example, so she knows how to do it. But she has workers. She runs a successful trading business. She's a merchant. Come on now. Y'all talk about y'all bosses. Y'all, a lot of y'all women ain't no boss. This is a boss right here. This is a real boss. Huh? Y'all work for these corporations and talk about you a boss? Stop lying. She opens her arms. Well, hold on. No. 19. Yeah, okay. So in her hands, she holds the distaff and grasps the spittle with her fingers. So, like I said, she knits. Like if you think of a sewing machine, she creates fabric. That's how she makes money. People always need fabrics to wear, right? Why didn't y'all ever consider that? Y'all be talking about how it's like it's a slave work for a woman to sew or something like that, or create fabrics with a sewing machine. Y'all stupid. Y'all retarded. Completely retarded. Society made y'all retarded. Slow as shit. Excuse me for cussing, but society made y'all slow. Because when you create fabric with that sewing machine, you're making money. You're running around trying to worry about Louis Vuitton and all these people's names who don't even benefit you and buying their clothes. Why don't you make your own fabrics and clothes and your own clothing lines and trade it with other people? Simple. Y'all take simple things and make it so hard and complicated. Y'all just complicate simple things. Men and women. Let's keep it moving. 20. She opens her arms to the poor and extends her hands to the needy. A lot of y'all run around and yap your mouths, you yappers. You run your mouths and talk about people instead of helping them. If you see somebody that's down out, help them. Why are you talking about them? What benefit you get from talking trash to people about people who are in need or who are hurting? Y'all stupid. And a lot of y'all parents taught you how to be stupid because they're stupid too. And some of your grandparents are stupid. That's why your parents are stupid and you're stupid. Roasting session. Let's keep it moving. Like I said, she opens her arms to the poor and extends her hands to the needy. That means she got it like that. She got all these businesses popping off, international, import, export. She got land. She got land. Right? So she's making it happen. So she could give to the needy and to the poor. Y'all be complaining about doing stuff for the needy and the poor because y'all a bunch of broke people. Y'all broke mentally. Let's keep it moving. 21. When it snows, she has no fear for her household, for all of them are clothed in scarlet. Huh? You hear that? She have no worry. She's not worried about the cold weather. Remember, it talked about how she used the spittle. She sews clothing. She creates clothing and fabrics and garments. Huh? Those garments she create, she knows she can clothe her family and all her servant girls, everyone who works for her. They wearing her brand. They're not worried about Gucci and all these other companies out here. She got her own clothing line. Read between the lines on that. She's a businesswoman. She's virtuous. Her husband has no need for anything because he got it all through her. Obviously, he does his thing too, and I'm sure he brings plenty to the table. But when they put all that together, they're good. They don't worry about nothing. None of them. The husband or the wife doesn't. They don't worry about food, finance, nothing. They have it all. Y'all twisted out here. Society got y'all real twisted. The media got y'all twisted. She makes coverings for her bed. She is clothed in fine linen and purple. Fine linen. That talks about the spittle. Her making fabrics and garments. She never worried about her clothes. She got the finest threads. Her children got the finest threads. Her husband wears the finest threads. Huh? What y'all talking about? 23. Her husband is respected at the city gates, where he takes his seat among the elders of the land. Her husband's respected. And he has a seat with the elders because he's wise. Her husband is wise. That's why they're together. A wise woman with a wise man, it can't be any other way. That's why a lot of y'all foolish women can't get no good man. Because you make foolish decisions. You follow foolish concepts and ways of so-called society has taught you. Then you wonder why you're miserable. A lot of you men too. You wonder why you're miserable. You talk trash about women. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to be a man and step up. You act like boys. So you get treated like boys. These women run around disrespecting you because you're a boy. Let's move along. Getting a little parched here. All right. 23. Her husband is respected at the city gates, where he takes his seat among the elders of the land. Right? He has a seat among the elders. Her husband has a seat among the elders. She makes linen garments. Look, it keeps talking about how she makes clothing, linen garments. What? She's draped up and dripped out. Don't get it twisted. Her husband's draped up and dripped out. Huh? They got it. And sells them and supplies the merchants with sashes. She supplies merchants. Huh? She supplies the merchants in the city. What is y'all talking about? She supplies merchants. What? Who gonna leave this kind of woman unless you're a dumbass? No man in his right mind would ever conceive of leaving this type of woman. Y'all be trying to do all these things to try to keep a man instead of doing what's really need to be done to keep him. Society tricked you guys once again. Fools on the tricks on you. Let's keep it moving. She's, like I said, 24. She makes linen garments and sells them, and she sells them and supplies the merchants with sashes. She is clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come. She's clothed with strength and dignity. That means the days to come, she can laugh and smile because she knows her work is ahead of her. If she wants, she could take a whole month off and not work and just go enjoy her life with her family and her children, her husband. She can enjoy her time off comfortably because she set herself up for success for days, weeks, months, even years ahead of time. Y'all be talking about, oh, I need a vacation. Well, if you did the right thing in the first place, you can take a vacation anytime you want. A week, a month, whatever. And still have a business running when you get back. Okay, what's been going on? And you get a report. This is what's been going on, madam. This is what's been going on. We made X amount of sales. We've been doing great since you've been gone. Okay, great. And you just come back and pick up where you left off. Y'all stupid. Y'all don't got no sense in your brain because society made y'all dumb. A lot of y'all women are just stupid. Society really tricked y'all. We already know a lot of men are dumb, so I don't even got to say that, but I'm going to say it anyway. A lot of y'all men are dumb too. Let's keep it moving. She is clothed with strength and dignity. She can't, that's 25. She's clothed with strength and dignity and can laugh at the days to come. She can laugh. She can laugh comfortably because she knows her business is ahead of her. Years ahead. She could take a whole year vacation and still come back. Everything's running the way she left it. Comfortably. But y'all don't think about that though, right? Y'all don't think about working hard. Right? Working with the men hard for a good amount of years. And then set up something where down the road you can take a year, 2 years off if you want and enjoy yourself. Y'all running around acting like whores and think it's okay. It's not. I'm going to be the first to say it's not okay. It's a trap and you guys fell right into it like a bunch of dummies. Let's keep it moving. She speaks with wisdom. And that's 26. Proverbs 31 and 26. She speaks with wisdom. Faithful. Faithful instructions in her tongue. She speaks with wisdom. And faithful instructions is on her tongue. What y'all know about that? Huh? You don't. Because society tricked you. Once again. Society has tricked you to think certain ways and believe certain things. So you don't know nothing. A lot of you women know nothing about wisdom, and faithful instructions is on her tongue. She speaks with wisdom, and faithful instructions is on her tongue. Faithful. She's faithful. That's why she accomplishes all she does and can do what she does. And a lot of y'all so-called boss chicks can't. "27. She watches over the affairs of her household." I don't care if you get mad at me. You can go cry and pout all you want. I don't care. I'm just laying down the facts of what it is. These are the traits of a virtuous woman. This is her true nature. This is the true nature of a real woman. She watches, right? She speaks with wisdom, and faithful instructions is in her tongue. 27. She watches over the affairs of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. She's not sitting around waiting for somebody to do something for her. She's not idle. She's always got something going on. Business. Take care of the family. Take care of her husband. Traveling. She's always got something going on. So her mind doesn't get caught up in foolishness like a lot of you women of today. She's busy. She's really busy. She's not faking and acting like she's busy to try to trick a man. Yeah. Keep it moving. 28. Her children arise and call her blessed, and her husband also, and he praises her. Now, y'all be wanting praise from men, but y'all not even qualified to get praise from a man. He would praise you if you act right. If you did the right thing and act like you're supposed to, and act in your true nature. He would praise you all day, every day. You would be worshipped. Hail, queen, empress, goddess. You would be hailed. You would be hailed. Yes, queen, goddess, empress. Y'all love that, right? But then y'all don't want to act right, though. How you going to want some kind of worship and praise, right? It says praise her. How you want worship and praise? How you want your man to praise you, but you don't act and worthy of praise? You're not worthy of it. Most of you women, a lot of you women are not worthy of any type of praise. And you will never get it with the way you act like today. Only a select few will get that treatment. Who knows who they really are and how they're really supposed to behave. Roasting session. Let's keep it moving. 29. Many women do noble things, but her success, what did I write that? It says, many women do noble things, but you surpass them all. This, a woman in her true nature, who she really supposed to be and behave and act, she surpasses all. This virtuous woman, who I've been describing so far, surpasses all of you women. Y'all be wanting a man to be faithful to you women. If you was this, he would be. He wouldn't need no other women. He wouldn't need to go running around and chasing after all these different women, because he sees that quality is in you. You have these qualities and traits of a true, virtuous woman. He's not thinking about no other woman. He see another woman, he'd be like, please, keep it moving, lady. I got a queen. I got a real empress at home. She handling business. He not thinking about no other woman. He may desire her. She may look good. But he going to be like, what am I going to lose to go after her? Heck no. I don't care how good she looks. His woman might not even be half as good looking as that woman, but because of her qualities, he won't even step out on her because he knows that what he has is worth more than rubies. Who cares what this woman looks like, how beautiful she is? Yeah, she look good, but so what? You're gonna mess this type of woman up for just an hour or so with that woman? Heck no. Ain't no man in his right mind gonna give this type of woman up for her. No matter how, I don't care how good she looks. Huh? Yeah. Let's keep it moving. Y'all be talking, y'all caught up in these looks and y'all just all deceive. A lot of y'all men and women, y'all just deceive with this Europeanization of looks and beauty and all of this foolishness. Y'all not looking at the heart of the matter. That's y'all problem. And that's why most of y'all gonna fail at life, period. Because you're chasing the wrong things. You're looking at the wrong things. Let's be honest, nobody wants nobody that looks horrible, but still. I would take an average looking woman any day of the week who got her mind right over a pretty bimbo. A pretty bonehead. I don't want her. I have no use for a pretty bimbo. Give me an average woman who has her mind, her head on straight. I'll take her any day of the week over a pretty bimbo. A pretty bonehead. I don't need her. I have no use for her. Let's keep it moving. Where we at? Okay, we're over here on many women do noble things, but you surpass them all. So this kind of woman I've been describing so far surpasses all women. Y'all not no bosses. Y'all not independent. Y'all nothing you say you really are. Y'all a bunch of liars. A lot of y'all a bunch of liars. Not all, but a lot of y'all a bunch of liars. And most people see right through you. You're hollow. 30. Charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting. But a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. What I just said. I'll take an average woman any day of the week with her head on straight. Why? Because she's more valuable than rubies. It's not about how she looks. It's not about how she looks. Now, back in the days, men obviously had multiple wives. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, a woman who has her head on straight is worth more than rubies. Charm is deceptive. 30. And beauty is fleeting. They talk about how a woman, her time is short when it comes down to her beauty because her beauty fades. The beauty fades. It gets to a point where you get to a certain age and she's less desired. So why are you women wasting your younger years trying to pursue this so-called type of thought culture, whores, acting like whores, running around sleeping with multiple men, and you think it's helping you? You're tricking yourself. Society tricked you. You've been deceived. Gotcha! You've been fooled. That willy chip is still in your brain activated. Deactivate the willy chip, and then you can be something. Until then, you're going to be nothing. If you run around and sleep with a bunch of men. You sleep around a bunch of men, you end up nothing. You're going to get, your value decreases every man you sleep with. That's facts. Charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting. But a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Beauty is fleeting, so your beauty is going to flee you. We see it today. A lot of women who were in the 90s that came up, beautiful women, now they're running around here acting like a fool. Because their beauty's gone. Now they have to resort. They've been tricked. A lot of them realize they've been deceived in their older age now. They realize that. A lot of you younger women, don't fall into this. Get yourself a husband in your 20s and be that woman you're supposed to be, so that way he will keep you forever. He will keep you all the days of your life, guarantee it. If you find yourself a real man, he will not leave you. He will keep you until one of you guys go first. And even he goes first, I guarantee everything he has will be yours. He will leave it to you without a problem, without a shadow of a doubt. He will leave his fortune to you and his children. Y'all worried about, being tricked of a man leaving you once he gets success. That's bull crap. Y'all, that's you know what? I realize this is an excuse by a lot of women to just be whores. This is your excuse to go out and be a whore. And then cry about it when you get older. Let's keep it moving. Charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting. But a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. You fear the Lord. And then not necessarily fear, but love. What's the opposite of fear? Love. Love. Have true love. A lot of y'all women have no love in you. You guys are like hollow beings. And society made you this way. You've been tricked. 31. Give her the reward she has earned, and let her works bring her praise at the city gates. She gets praise at the city gates. When they see her coming, they know, that's such and such wife. She's that lady, man. And people be thinking, man, I hope young people want like, man, I hope I get a woman like her. A man would take a woman in her 40s or 50s if she has a good track record. He probably can't have no babies with her, but he would marry her because her track record is pristine. I take a woman in her 40s and 50s, even at my age right now, because her track record proves itself. Now, if I might tell her I need a younger woman to bring me children into this world, you know what I'm saying, because she's not in the age to give me that, but I'd take good care of her. She'd be well taken care of in her older age. 50, 40 years old, I would marry a type of woman like that. Because her track record is proven. If she only had one husband from the age of 20 and something happened to her husband, whatever, and she's a widow at 40, 45, 50, she's only had one man for the past 30 years. She's marriage material. I would take her burdens away and marry that type of woman. And thus a wise man would too. Now, if you want children, like I said, you're going to probably get a younger woman for the children purposes, but you'd still take this woman on and you'd marry her and make sure she's all right for the rest of her days because she's quality. She hasn't been ran through by a whole bunch of men. Nobody don't want no run-throughs. Come on. Where they do that at? In this Western society only. In the east side, in the eastern part of the world, women don't do that. They're not ran through. Whoever taught y'all that, y'all been tricked, and then y'all just fall into it and act like it's acceptable. And then when you get older, you realize that you made a mistake, but then it's too late. Y'all, you know what? I'm convinced y'all be knowing what y'all be doing. Y'all know it's no, I didn't know. Nah, y'all know what y'all be doing. Y'all know exactly what you be doing. And then you try to blame society for the decisions that you made as a grown woman. Stop it. Now, another deception that has been going on in society, right? And I hear this a lot in the so-called manosphere, right? Hypergamy. Oh, a woman looking up. No, y'all stupid. Because the true definition of hypergamy, according to the Etymology Dictionary, and we know etymology is the original meaning of words, not what society has been teaching you guys as what the meaning of the word is. The true meaning, hypergamy, is a noun. It says marriage of a woman into a lower class, caste, like a caste system, or tribe. From the 1940s. The word is just recently was originated in the 1940s. It's a relatively new word. Y'all talking like these words been around for over 1 million years or something. Y'all silly. A lot of y'all men are just silly. Did you wonder why these women running around here doing silly stuff? Because y'all not leading. A lot of you men are not leading. That's why these women are running rampant. And not even, of course they've been deceived by the media and society, but a lot of y'all men are running around here doing silly things. That's why a lot of these women behave the way they behave. And it's not a majority of men. It's a small percentage of the influencers of men out here who are causing this. Y'all need to be shot. Y'all need to be hung by the nearest tree. Because you're running around here corrupting these women. These silly women. Then they're miserable when they get older, and then real men gotta sit around and hear the foolishness that they put out on social media. Yeah, so from the 1940s, this word came out, hypergamy. It's not mean a woman going up and looking for the next best thing. We already know that women money is not the issue. Because if that was the case, a woman would not even sleep with a broke dude who can tear her back out. She wouldn't even go for him if that was the case. So what is y'all talking about this hypergamy nonsense? That's the most dumbest thing I've been hearing y'all talk about in society today, especially all over YouTube and social media. Hypergamy. Y'all a bunch of idiots. Look up the word, the true definition in etymology dictionary. That word has only come about since the 1940s. An anthropologist's word first used in Indian context from hypo, Hypo, which means under, beneath, plus gamy, Gamy, which means marriage. That means marry under, not above. Y'all silly as hell. Related to hypergamous. Look up the word for yourselves in etymology dictionary. I don't have to say much, right? So y'all been tricked. A lot of y'all men been fooled too. The willy chip is still activated in your brains. That's why you're running around here talking nonsense that you're talking on social media and on YouTube. And a lot of y'all giving out false information. And I'm here to set the record straight. Now, also I wanted to go ahead and include this real quick, right? I pull up this article on it's published by a student of Johns Hopkins since 1896, right? This was a newsletter, the Johns Hopkins newsletter, published by the students of Johns Hopkins since 1896. I'm going to read this here for you guys.